You want to know the truth about open houses? Hi, I'm Dan Beer with Beer Home Team at eXp Realty, and I'm going to address one of the biggest myths about real estate, one of the biggest misunderstandings, misconceptions, and in all truth, and my industry may not appreciate me sharing this with you, but really one of the most misleading activities that real estate agents encourage, and I'll tell you why, and it's the open house. So, even the National Association of Realtors has shown us in their studies that only 4% of sales across the country, only 4% of sales actually originate out of an open house. And if you really think about it, a number of those people would have actually shown up with their agent outside of the open house had they not just used the open house as a convenient way to show up. But only 4% of sales. Yet, interestingly enough, agents want to do open houses consistently and the public wants to also. Now, I don't blame the consumer, the seller, for wanting open houses because that's what they've seen agents pushing all this time. Now, here's what you really want. Do you want the resources pushed into an open house that's been shown to be 4% of sales, or do you want to insist that your agent will show you a strategy, a system, a process that can systematically lead to the sale of your home and has predictably over the course of hundreds and hundreds of home sales? That's what I would interview for. So when they start talking about open houses, that's great, but make sure you're pressing for, hey, that's all wonderful, but what are you really going to do to take control of the process? What are you really going to do to ensure that the buyer is having the experience that you want them to have as a seller versus them taking control of the home purchase? That's going to determine who has the power and leverage in the negotiation. Now, before I sign off here, I want to address something. You see us doing a lot of open houses. Why? Am I just speaking out of both sides of my mouth? Is there, what is it about that? And here's the truth. Keep something in mind. We have a process. It's called our 5-day blitz. It's trademarked and it's created on the verge of 1,000 home sales for us. So that process leverages the idea of open house as part of the staging element for the real buyers that are showing up to our homes. And here's what I mean. Does an open house visitor show up with a sign on their forehead that says, hey, I'm just a neighbor, or I'm looking, or I might buy in 6 months, or I'm just in a research phase? Of course not. They don't show up with any such sign. So what happens is, what you do see us doing a ton of open houses, but what you're not necessarily seeing is that right out here on our sales floor over the course of the weeks pre-open house, we are pushing a ton of targeted traffic into that same window of time. In fact, we are also running social media campaigns for the same reason, because what we're doing is we're finding targeted buyers and then we're letting them commingle with the open house visitor. The real buyer sees them as a real buyer. If you want to understand how that strategy could be put into play for you, what the detail behind it is, and the amount of manpower that's necessary to actually execute on that, just let us know. Because here's the other thing that unfortunately our industry will do. It's easy to say that you'll do X amount of things, but do they have the manpower to execute on it? You're invited here to our office any day of the week. You can just drop in unannounced, 8:15 in the morning. You'll see us making it happen for our clients. The entire team here, present and pushing in a way that only a fully built out, true team with one cause, with one push, one goal together could execute on. So I hope you don't mind me bursting the bubble here on the open house idea, but I want to be committed to sharing with you what really works, what really doesn't, making you a smarter, more informed consumer. If there's any other thing we can do here, let us know. I'm Daniel Beer with the Beer Home Team at eXp Realty. Look forward to seeing you in the next one.